please pardon the recitation or another reminder of something we have talked about many times over in the 820 enterprise. But today I want to talk again about desire. That desire thing. That, as I mentioned to you in other episodes, that desire, that raw-based desire, is a key component to getting you to answer that question that I posed to you probably at the beginning of these episodes about what drives you. But before that, I'm asking you to recognize, before you get to the drive part, to recognize and acknowledge and define your desire and your discipline. That should serve to support and reinforce the drive I ask you to address and to do a daily refresh of your resilience. And also why you should, on a regular basis, on a daily basis, convene that urgency meeting about resilience. Back in the day, and to me quite appropriate for now as well, we would have a literal stand-up meeting the first thing in the morning at the office. It was called that, and that is exactly what it was. We'd come out of our cubicles or offices and around another board have a stand-up meeting of the team. It would be like a 10 to 15 minute meeting with a team of consultants as a preview for the work to get done for the day. A way for us to review our individual and collective daily priorities to accomplish. In that meeting, that stand-up meeting, each individual would have to state and outline his or her work to tackle that day in front of his or her peers. In that stand-up meeting, there will be no devices, no computers, just you and your notes in your hand to deliver a succinct and comprehensive, committed summary of what you will accomplish that day. Now, that day. And you're standing there almost exposed with and in front of them with your naked truth. No, not your naked self. That'd be more offensive in my case. But exposed in front of everybody with what you're going to present, what you're going to do, and what you're going to commit to. It was almost like a personal attestation and or public service announcement on what I would get done or at least progress forward in the projects and programs on my plate. Essentially a daily status update or a daily sit rep, as we called it in the Army. Sit rep meaning situation report. Sit rep. To do that, you would efficiently summarize the mission and the message and the purpose on a regular, or in that case, daily basis. Also back then, we call it, in a very efficient and economical way, relate to the team, the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why, and how, and get that out there, not in terms of speed, but quality and substance. Not a lot of fluff and pomp and circumstance, just the facts, ma'am, as they say on that show, Dragnet. And back then, there were no 19-page PowerPoint presentations for a subject that we could cover in less than 500 seconds. Just like almost every 820 episode, by the way. To do that was to relate the urgency of the moment and then to get on with the work to do. With direction and focus, mitigating and reducing anything non-material to the purpose, message, mission, and personal commitment. Now, that recollection and recital of what happened before, in my experiences, that was the desire of those organizations that I had the privilege to work with. That was the intent, the desire of those organizations to work with and to learn from. And then later in life, like today, to reflect and build on for these 820 urgency meetings of resilience with you. But even that desire expressed by those military and corporate organizations, and the desire that I also adopted in my slice of responsibility and accountability to complete, the question came up to me, did that externally defined but internally accepted desire resonate with the core package design, the desire of my creator? Sometimes yes, and loosely related yes, but most times no. Usually the imposed desire had a rush, get it done, damn the quality, rework the draft effort, correct the imperfections again and again, or redo the thing totally. Quantity replacing the focus on quality. So I mentioned this revisit of desire for that reason and for today's urgency meeting. Before you stand up and state your answer or approach to what drives you each day, run the traps and filters through the non-negotiable screen of your heart's desire, and who installed that infrastructure, the desire of your original design. Then apply your interpretation of your desire to the original desire, to the message, the mission, and the purpose in front of you now. Let's not just chase some various and variable and random desires. Perhaps take and make the time to regulate and refine a rambling list of desires, whittling down the randoms to the essential. And in accordance with your appreciation for who and what you are, what you were brought here to do and to complete, with and through your perfect self. No need for a long or extended presentation on what you're gonna do. Let's get on with it like it is your last stand-up meeting. So as I close out this urgency meeting with you today, I remember doing just that in front of my soon-to-be combat-tested company. Wow, that takes me back to about 35 years ago and on the shores of the Chagres River in Panama. It was literally, I'm not kidding, a stand-up urgency meeting in the deep darkness of the night. Just me in front of 152 killers who may get killed themselves within the next 8 hours. I did not deliver a rah-rah speech or to motivate men who are already fully trained. I just told them that I loved them and would bring every one of them back alive. Now that's the kind of stand-up urgency meeting and context I will leave with you today and to consider on your own journey of resilience. That message I delivered to my soldiers could have been my last. Obviously, it was not, as I'm here today to relate that story of decades to you now. But it serves to remind me of an example of more courage than vanity and in this day and moment. And while only one small and one really dated example that I just gave you, I hope it helps you on your journey ahead. All right, meeting over. On to the work. Stay present. Stay current. Remember, always, it's always 820.